It's your boy, Mr. Handcrafted.
No cap, shorty foreign.
Mr. Handcrafted.
And this is the I Don't Know Shit Podcast. Today, we got a special guest in the building.
Who that?
It's your boy, Cameron, Mr. CB. The original CB.
Yo.
I knew this nigga as CB before there was a CB. Right? Am I lying?
CB, Cam John B, yeah, whatever.
I feel like you were a CB before. We knew who CB was.
Who's CB? What is
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
We took it.
Technically,
I'm just saying. I knew you as Chris Cameron Briggs before I knew.
You took it back. I mean, I don't even know. When did it even become a thing? Was that like 06, 07?
I don't know.
Time out, nigga. First of all, hold on. You said Chris?
What?
Chris Cameron Briggs? Is that what you just said?
No.
Oh, I thought you said Chris. I was like, oh, that was your first name for real?
Yeah,
I was finna be his dead shot. Like, oh, damn, you been going by Cameron this whole time, bro?
Changed it up, bro. Cameron's my middle name.
Oh my God, bro.
No, that can't be right. I'm gonna say, hell
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
was
not
like-
right, bro.
So I was like, whoa.
It's like your whole life, your whole childhood has been a lie. But yeah, bro, you remember I saw you in that Walmart one day, and I was like telling you, I was like, bro, I'm working on something. I don't want you to blah blah blah. You don't remember that? When you first met her,
It was like the Walmart out in Gresham.
you were with your girl
a
and
market.
her.
I believe I got a shit memory. Like,
This
yeah,
motherfucker.
don't count on me to remember nothing. So, like,
All that, bro.
I definitely I don't know. I feel like we definitely like regularly prior to now we bumped into each other super it's always mad random. After you called me, it's crazy actually because after you called me, I seen Imani, and I was like,
Bro, isn't it crazy how tall that motherfucker is?
Bruh, yeah, he tall and he like doing his like training thing, getting all swollen shit. I'm like, goddamn, nigga, like.
Bro, tell me that was not the smallest motherfucker in the crew.
Bro, he ain't on that now. He'll probably whoop somebody's ass just like, nah. Yeah,
That is so crazy how gravity in life just works like that. But how you been though, man?
I've been cool. Just
What you been up to?
Busy working, doing the pops thing.
What do you do for work?
I'm into photography. I shoot. I do retouching. A lot of retouching. I try and do that because I could do it from wherever.
What is that? What exactly is a retouch?
Just like cleaning up photos and stuff, and like making the colors pop, making the light right how it should be.
Other people's photos? Or like yours?
Other people's photos.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know you knew how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I learned just by, when I got into it, going to school and shit.
Did you go to school for that?
Yeah, I went to school, and my professor put me on this studio. I went to, talk to them, and then started working in the shits from then.
How is it? How is, the industry? Was it, is it something you do because it's a passion, or is it worth it?
I feel like when I first started it is I got into it because I'm like, yo, this, I'd taken pictures of the homies skateboarding, doing whatever bullshit. And so I was like, I figured I'm not going to be in school for being a lawyer or some shit. I
can see you being a lawyer. Nigga. Your ass used to argue like a motherfucker.
Bro, I'll fuck up a debate and I'll go in, bro. But, no, I tried to go into school for the, business and psychology, and that shit was mad boring. Classes, lectures and shit, and I was like, fuck that. And then I started working, and I was like, this shit ain't going nowhere. So
Where'd you work? What'd you do for work?
I threw boxes at FedEx.
FedEx?
Yeah,
bro.
It did what it needed to do.
And if you get right, you might be able to drive a truck and get
How
It
was
wasn't
that
fucking
though?
with me on that level.
It
There's
wasn't
no way
fucking
they was
me
letting me.
either,
I had the dreads, and they was they had some bullshit
better.
policy. They were like, it's not presentable. You got to cut your dreads. I'm like, what the fuck? Hell no.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was it decent money? Because people used to say, I used to work at UPS for a little bit. People would say that UPS or FedEx was better than UPS. Because remember, I used to work there. But Terrence and Jamila, Terrence got me the job there.
Oh, he did work there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know.
And you was working at the FedEx the same time we was working at UPS.
I wouldn't know. I've heard lots of things. I heard, wasn't UPS union?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like give and takes because FedEx wasn't union, you know. So it's like you got that. I mean, I think that because of the union, it's like they got paid a little bit less. I don't know what the was comparison, but like I think from like speaking to Terrence and stuff like that, it was like I heard it got paid a little less, and I figure, you know, that's union and the dues and all that. Yeah. But it was cool. The management wasn't trying to let me go nowhere. It was like they're like, nah, you can't do nothing.
You look
like,
good as shit,
we're not trying
bro.
to promote you or nothing, even though they was trying to have me doing all the work. So fuck them.
Yeah.
Got out of there when I could.
I've had jobs that treated me like that. How long did you have to go to school to get into like the whole photography gig?
I went to school and got the whole like 3.5 years done to get the degree, but I started working at the studio like a year into going to school.
Oh, that's dope.
So
you've been there for years then.
What's up more?
With the studio?
No. I'm freelance now. I do my own thing and like responsible for like pulling in my own clients and stuff. And
how is that? So you like run your own business essentially?
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. It can be like a headache at times because you got all the hats and stuff. You know, you doing the accounting, the networking, marketing, all that shit, and on top of like what it is you do is for the profession. You know. Yeah. So
we try to do we do custom. We just started doing like custom, just like t-shirts and clothes and shit like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, y'all already know.
It's fucking not. Yeah. It's hard trying to sell yourself, bro. You feel like a cheap hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. That's what's you know. It all goes back to like I feel like, you know, just being authentic, because I know what you mean, man. You feel like sometimes you're like, man, this is dumb as hell.
You slutting yourself out, man.
Either people gonna fuck with me or they not. But then it's like you start to like
put yourself in them.
I don't know. You can't just be like blank face trying to be like, oh, I'm like, you know, my shit is like this and people just gonna fuck with it, you know. It's like
bro.
You gotta let people know about it, you know.
Yeah.
So
you knew what I meant when I said that, though.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Sure. Yeah, because I definitely been there. I'm still there and shit. That's why you don't really see me active on IG like that. Cause I don't like, you would think that being in photography, I would like have made it, or like I'd be active on there, you know.
Yeah. Especially like a platform like Instagram that's like made for pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, either way.
Yeah.
And it's made for a whole lot of shit. It depends on what you.
But I mean, when it first started, it started because of like for pictures, because Facebook wouldn't allow you to.
But like you touch up pictures, like you're allowed to like put everybody else's pictures back up, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could like. Yeah, you could post, you know, whatever, you know, and that's like the strength of it, you know. It's a tool that everybody could utilize as like marketing and shit. But yeah, I don't know. I just I guess it feels weird for me, feeling like I got a camera, like feeling like I like have a camera trying to document like every moment, you know.
Yeah, it feels. Bro, you know what I'm saying, bro. It's almost like you gotta, like, it's weird to walk around like, hey, bro. You know what I mean? It feels weird. Nigga, we used to make fun of them weirdo motherfuckers. Now, essentially, that's our profession.
Hey, as long as you all right with the camera work.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, it makes me feel good that you know what I'm saying. But you've been doing with this for way longer. But I still feel that same exact way, bro. So I guess it doesn't make me feel good, but I guess it's.
Why don't you shoot a TV show?
You said what?
Why don't you shoot a TV show?
A pilot? That'd be dope.
Yeah, I'm down.
You'd have to get a lot of people though to consolidate for a cast, though, right? Wouldn't you?
You just gotta. I mean, it's one thing I like in going to school, because I went to school with a lot of people who were majoring in film and stuff. They like. It's always people out there trying to get like, you know, a reel going, you know, so you can throw shit out there on the internet and be like, yo, looking for people to do this and that, and then people be like, oh yeah, I need to build my reel, do it for trade work, you know.
Yeah.
And you will find them. It's just like it is a lot of work, you know, trying to organize that big of a production.
Fact.
But no, that's like I've been interested in like moving towards video work and stuff, you know, like narrative driven stuff like that.
That'd be dope. I could see you as like one of them, like a photographer, like one of them like overseas videos and shit like that.
Yeah.
Would you do that, bro?
Yeah.
You look like one of them like typical videographer looking motherfuckers, bro.
What is that?
You look like you take some bomb ass photos, though.
Check this out, though. Like, that's hard.
Like you don't even gotta look. I ain't even gotta look at the edits, bro. Just I give you the money, you take off with that shit.
Man.
Like you know what you're doing. That's funny. But that's a good stereotype to have when you in the profession, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I trust you in my music video.
Flick away. All right, and you gonna touch him up too the right way?
Yeah. So, bro, I'm sure I ain't got a lot of money, but we got some pictures. We wanna do like some team photos, and then we're gonna. So I just started like the brand. I just got my. So on the 19th of this month, it'll be official. Like, got my shit trademarked, copyright. I got the trademark for it. So it's like, it was published on the 19th of last month, but there was the 30-day period for if anybody wanted to be like, hey, that's my shit. Blah,
I should have
blah.
went in there and got your ass.
That's so scary. It's always the ones closest to you.
I should have went in there and got straight up. Yeah, that's mine. They would have. Yeah, I got proof of all that.
Showing sketches, even took pictures of your sketches.
Yes, sir.
It was so good. I don't even think we realized what we did, but when we sent them in the picture, we sent in like the raw version of it. So it's like the one that's all put together, so they see all like the different layers of like how we got it to look the way it did, because we had to like use certain glasses to layer them to give them like the kind of like mean, like kind of like cross-sided, like look. I don't know. It was work, bro.
Yeah, it was a lot.
What was your process? You like started with hand drawings and then you moved to digital.
So I basically was just like, this woman right here, she's the fucking greatest. That's my wife. Everybody, if nobody's ever known. But basically, like, I'll come up with I just be talking. Like, I'll be, like, high one day, or, no, I'm not. I don't smoke weed. No. I'll just be like.
Hey, yo, cut that out the edit.
But I just, you know how, like, you just be in the moment, you just be talking and shit, and, like, she's, like, one of those people, like, I'll tell this story. I've told it before. I'm going to tell it again, whatever. But the reason I decided to marry her, I was talking to her about this app that I wanted to make, right? And I told her, like, I wanted this and blah, 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 blah. And literally before I could get home, bro, like the very next day, she had already, like, started to try to make one, like, the template of it. She did it in, like, this free app maker. It didn't turn out how, like, I wanted, but it was the fact that, like, she was, like, stepped out there and, like, did it. So, like, I literally just was, like, telling her I wanted like
a Frankenstein with like
I literally was like, because the name of the brand is handcrafted. When I think of like the idea of like being handcrafted, it's like, oh, like a Frankenstein. Like that motherfucker was literally like handcrafted. He was made by somebody. Like, and for me, it's like, who knows what the original story is? I mean, who fucking cares? But for me, it's like the idea of just being something different. You know what I mean? And being okay with being different. You know, don't be what people feel like you have to be, but like be whatever it is you want, and like it could be multiple different things put together into one beautiful pie. And so I literally just was telling her what I wanted, and she just started to make it. She honestly would have to tell you how.
Damn, bro, that's cute. Y'all love birds and shit. That's beautiful.
We got white doves for you too.
Oh my god.
Said y'all be on the same wavelength and shit.
Yeah, bro. I had to wipe that up, bro. I couldn't let that go. Real shit. But how did you do it, babe? How'd you put it together?
Well, he told me that he just wanted like a Frankenstein with like an afro and maybe some like sunglasses. He wanted a diamond in one earring and a peace sign in the other ear. And so I had first started looking up Frankenstein himself, because obviously Frankenstein has to be copyrighted, right? Well, Universal Studios has him copyrighted, but with the bolts in the neck. Yeah. So if you remove the bolts, if you put him in the head, if you put him somewhere else, it's not copyrighted. Word. So we
removed the bolts completely.
Yeah, I
was like, fuck that nigga. They not about to try to like later on. You know what I'm saying? You keep them up.
I wasn't. Because I mean, you see in like cartoons and stuff, they'll be in his head or somewhere else.
Just the head.
That's real.
Mamas, nigga. Because for me, it's like, who's this? Who's trying to go against Disney or Universal Studios, nigga?
Yeah,
like,
no.
I'm a little mom. I'm not saying I'm about to pop like that.
That's that old money, though.
You know what I'm saying?
They hold you up in court
forever.
Oh my God.
Forever, bro. Yeah. Fuck that, nigga. You take the whole neck, nigga.
Yeah, we gonna run this down on
you. So when we, sorry to cut you off, but when we went into making it, we actually did like some research. Yeah. It wasn't like we just went out there and like, oh, we're gonna do this. No. You know, it was like a well thought out process.
It was.
That's real. That's
it
real.
Was.
You know, a lot of people don't do that. You know, and then they end up like you start and then they feel like they get somewhere and then they have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, man.
Know? So yeah, I feel it.
It was the idea of trying to create something bigger than me, I guess. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I feel like the idea, there's like, it can be almost like a lifestyle. Like when you think about like Nipsey Hussle and the marathon, like that's bigger than Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? That's like, that's a culture almost. You know?
For sure.
So for me, it's like after I die or whatever, I got something that I feel like can be a lot bigger than me. You know what I mean? I feel like just especially with like the way the world's going and kids just want to be like what they see on TV or YouTube. I feel like kids nowadays, they not like us. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, bro, we had our different cliques. You had your like emo kids, you had your rocket kids, the skateboard kids, the little badass kids that couldn't read. You know what I'm saying? I was in that group. But I'm just saying, like, we had all our different types. You know what I'm saying? When you look at like a school now, I'm not saying they don't have it, but I don't feel like it don't look the same.
Everybody in one group.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be the same. Every girl got long ass acrylic nails. Even the emo bitches.
I mean, yeah. Sorry. People are. It's a crazy different world. You know, that should be make me feel old. Talk about it that way because it's like, you know. But I feel like we were, you know, among the last generation to really like.
I say 95 was the cutoff.
Yeah, to grow up in that world of like, you know, not having computers and technology readily accessible. Like you go to the library, you know, or your homies' parents might have a computer or something, like, you know.
We were in the wave of kids that received the first green Mac computers in school.
Yeah.
So if the kids was to look at the computers that we first had, they referred to 19 as the 1900s, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
These little disrespectful motherfuckers refer to that shit as the 1900s, bro.
We at the bottom.
We were born in the 1900s.
We was.
That's crazy, bro.
When you really think about it.
That's crazy, bro.
It was their last shift, you know, before the digital age, brother, and
a whole nother way.
And you know what's crazy is like I like catch myself in like a grocery store or something like that. I remember back in my day when the Laffy Taffy was $4 for $1.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you look, your kids want something, but like, bro, look at they getting over on you. Like, bro, tell me your parents didn't used to say that same shit
it's
to
real.
you,
And
now you saying that same shit. You don't even fucking realize it, bro.
Yeah. She called me out for it though. She be making me feel old as shit, and I'm like, dog, I know I'm not even like, don't play me.
Yeah. But you are though, Brody.
It's a done deal. We're in the technology world now.
Yeah.
This shit, you age by the day.
My mama kind of seem that way now.
That shit crazy.
When I tell people I'm 29, I feel like I'm lying.
That's
know
what I'm
saying. Like, I
feel
like I'm lying.
Like
I think about it. Like, wait a minute, am I really only 29?
That can't be real.
Nah, bro. Yeah,
but it's real.
People think Jen's like younger than me. They be like, bro, how old is she, bro? They be trying to get on my melon like I'm with some young ass female or something. Like, nigga, she older than me.
Like, come on, bro. Come on. I know mom's taught you better than that, bro. What you going after these high schoolers and shit?
Nah, bro, she's older than I am, bro. And if you want to be honest, she started it with me.
Yeah.
She started flirting with me.
Dang. So you was the one. Okay.
I
got the text to prove
yeah.
I got this. I've been had this phone. Yeah. Yeah, see, you dropped yours in the river, but I still got mine.
Funny, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. Well, honestly, bro, I just wanted you to come on because I ain't seen you forever. I wanted to chop it up. I saw that you was doing photography and shit like that, and honestly, just wanted to like talk about a couple things. Like, how much time you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're good.
Okay,
yeah.
So basically, we had two subjects that we for sure wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk about Astroworld with fucking Oh Boy with Travis Scott. Yeah. And then we also wanted to talk about And we also wanted to talk about the Gabby Petito, or
yeah.
the white girl that got killed by her
boyfriend.
Yeah, bro. We've been trying to talk about that.
Man. And he killed Shorty. And he fell.
I don't know. We don't know. So, wifey, you had did some like research on it.
Yeah. So basically, they were engaged. They had gotten engaged, but they were supposed to get married like sometime this like last summer. But then COVID hit, and then like a year later, they decided to go. Oh, let's go on a road trip, and then basically they had started. I can't remember.
You'd be like one of them black ladies in church. Take your time, baby. Take your time. So, it's okay, baby.
I need all the details. It's been like I fell off on this story. I heard about it initially, but
okay.
So back up and kind of give like a recap of like what even the story is. There's two TikTokers.
Basically, oh wait, what?
Go and we want to know basically just to fill people in like what exactly we're talking about.
Okay, so basically Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito was missing. Was like
she was a famous. She was on the rise of like
Instagram and all that.
TikToker.
Yeah,
and so
know all that.
And so was her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was also a TikToker.
Yeah,
that's why they went on a road trip.
I don't know, but supposedly they was like together, and it was like this big like. It was like the couples thing, but it was like in the teen world of like TikTok and shit like that.
So they were trying to like video themselves like going on this like road trip, and so they left in New York, and so their stops were in Kansas, Colorado, a couple places in Colorado, and then like 5 places in Utah, and then so then they had like a fight. Okay, so then during all this research, there's a after she had died, there was a police video that came out with her and him. Like the police got called because they got in a fight, and they were saying that she had like scratches and bruises on her and all that, and so they're trying to say like, well, maybe he was hitting on her. Well, before that, there's video footage of her hitting him. Every time they got into a fight, like at a restaurant or something, she was beating on him.
It be like that, bro.
And
my mama be like that. My mama.
And so then this other video comes out. But so they kept getting like the police called because fights kept happening at restaurants. Then this was
bitch.
You keep doing fucking about TikTok.
Stop it, bro. We gotta cut that. We can't be laughing.
Damn,
man. Slapped all
y'all about to have these people getting on heads, disrespecting the good name of. Nah, bro. From what I hear, he did it.
You think so?
They found him yet?
No.
They found him, but he's dead.
Oh. So, but the thing is, go tell him.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in here. Yeah.
Okay. So they get in a fight. Then it all started in July, but then I think in September 11th, her family hadn't heard from her in a while. Then they kept getting like these weird like text messages from her phone, but it wasn't. They could tell it wasn't her, and so then they finally report her missing. Then like a few days later, the boyfriend is now a person of interest to the police, but then he ends up flying back, or no, he drives the van that they had taken back to his parents' house, which is in Florida. And he shows up there, and so then they're like, well, where's Gabby at? And so he's like...
Nigga was like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know.
That's some ballsy ass shit. We wouldn't even think to do no shit like that and then actually have them believe us. Nigga, we would have went to prison that day, bro.
I'm driving her van back.
Bro, to the parents' house?
Hey, I dished the van. I burnt it up.
That was audacious.
It was gone.
Yeah, I don't even know what he was thinking with that.
White privilege ain't a thing. Nigga, please.
So, September 11th is when the family reported her missing. September 19th, a body was found in Wyoming. Then it was later on found that it is her. Then, let's see.
What's the autopsy say?
That's what I'm saying.
The autopsy confirms body Gabby's was found. An autopsy confirmed the body found in Wyoming was Gabby Petito, as the manhunt for Brian Laundrie continues in Florida.
No, it was, I think, strangulation, though.
Oh, it says Dr. Brent Blue.
Oh,
man, y'all got me fucked up, bro.
You got a second life out here.
It says his initial determination is Petito's death was a homicide. The cause of death remains pending final autopsy results. Investigators returned to massive Florida nation.
Bro, do you think people got enough money to like pay people like say they dead when they not?
yeah, for sure.
Not these people. What the hell? How you think these teenagers got enough?
I don't know. I don't know how this shit work.
I don't know.
Nah.
But so
As long as you got connections and a little bit of money, you in the game.
I feel like you gotta have.
I feel like that's like some rich like Epstein type shit. You need to be on like Epstein level to die but not die. You know
You
what
gotta
I'm
either
saying?
have hella money or know something.
You know what I mean?
What are they like?
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
I know a few Jamaicans that fake their death.
So yeah, the final autopsy
Why
report.
you just cut this nigga off?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to find. I knew I had the final thing.
That was perfect. Thank you, baby.
I was.
Jen,
Good job,
I'm
baby.
just saying.
Good job.
I know a few Jamaicans.
So back to the topic.
Yeah, she was strangled. The coroner.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, she was
Strangulation,
strangled.
bro.
Oh, yeah, he
But
did
you
it.
never said where
He
he found the
snapped.
body, though.
He snapped and then was just like,
Right.
You
so,
can only. I'm not saying I
Where's this
agree,
nigga's
but you
body
only
at?
can take so much, bro.
So he ends up going back to his parents' house in Florida. Then he ends up leaving, sending out the FBI's after him. Now the body's been identified that it is Gabby. No one can find him. No one knows where he's at because they live right next to like a. Oh, what is it?
It's like the swamp, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I remember this part now because he went camping with his parents, right?
He had been there before many times at this little like swamp park of some sort, but it had been closed because of COVID.
But like when he got back from like when he initially came back, there was like a point at which like he left with his parents to go camping, right?
I
Or
don't-
something. Once they had already got
I
back,
think
before they had
before
started.
they had realized that he might be the person that had
His
killed
parents
her.
was ashamed. He told them everything. His parents was ashamed, and they took him on a camping trip and went and killed him. Yeah.
See, but, okay.
That's what happened.
You done got
See?
real
all right,
hate,
no,
bro.
all right, listen.
That's what happened,
I
bro.
like that. All right, baby.
that's
All
what
right,
you
all right. Baby, you go.
So
Say what you think.
Okay, so the little whatever, the swamp area or whatever has been closed to the public. So now it's like Wednesday, October, blah blah blah. The guy has still, but no one knows where this guy is at. The dad of the guy calls up the FBI and says, I want to go search this swamp park area or whatever. And so they're just kind of like, okay, well, why? And he's like, well, I think my son might be there because he always likes going there. And so they're kind of like, at first they're kind of like, okay, well, why are you specifically calling today? Like, why couldn't you have called last week? Why couldn't we call at a different time? And so he's like, well, it's just not open to the public today. Which in my eyes, if you're the FBI, if it's open to the public or not, you would be going in.
So you
Because you're the FBI.
Right.
So his dad
So-
said go over there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
His dad told
so
him
the
to go
dad
look
calls
for him.
them and says, let's go look today, right?
And takes them to this place.
Right. So they all go, reporters, investigators, all these people end up going to this area and they're all searching in one direction, but the dad decides to go off into a different direction and says, oh, I'm going to go down this trail. A few reporters were with him, but no other like FBI agents or anything. Sure enough, he comes across a bag that like had his son's stuff in it. And then like that's where they were, but then like 2 miles the opposite direction,
Oh yeah, they had his son killed.
like 2 miles the opposite direction, a body was found
That's crazy.
by the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
But it just said human remains were found.
Right. It doesn't.
It
say
didn't
anything.
say like a freshly dead body. It didn't say anything. So when I think of human remains, I think of skeletal remains.
She has a back. Tell him.
Okay, so yeah, like
This
I have a
invest-
whole thing in like forensics and all that. So
She got a certificate from actual college.
Yeah.
In forensics. Not
Sure.
saying she like some CSI type woman, but she like.
so when I read human remains, it means skeletal remains. So, but he's only been missing maybe a month. You know, they were trying to find him for like a month. Whereas Gabby was missing for a month, yet her fresh body was found nothing. You know what I mean?
You're saying he got skinned?
So I'm thinking that, okay, so I think that either the skeletal remains ended up being positive that it was this Brian Laundrie, the boyfriend, and they identified it by teeth. And
his
so
teeth though, it could be any teeth. It could be his baby teeth, nigga.
It could be.
If your parents were one of those kids that like kept all your baby teeth and shit like that, who's to say they don't got your little baggie of your 24 teeth that you had in your mouth?
You saying they just killed him and then like kept it?
No, what I'm saying is that nigga might be alive.
Oh, you saying they covered it up?
Yeah, and
He might be alive. They gave him a bag of some baby teeth, and that nigga's alive kicking it in Cabo.
Because how is it that you have skeletal remains of a body that's only been missing for a month? You can't do anything.
Unless you got like acid or some shit like that.
But acid's gonna eat the bone. Acid's gonna leave like a little fuzz.
You can have a pig eat it, and the pig will regurgitate. It will still have the bones in the stomach.
Did his parents have money or something? Or what
it sounds like the parents.
Yeah, they might have had a little bit of money.
But what I think also what might be is like maybe that body really was Brian, and somebody killed him years ago. And like this other guy that has actually been with Gabby has just been playing the identity of Brian.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
But then why would the parents? What would
parents? They would know though. That wasn't their son.
Bro, you going through? Hey, bro.
I think that maybe the parents had a thing with the killing of the person that was in the because. No way would it be. I just don't know about the whole baby teeth thing because it had to be like a full-on jaw of teeth already in.
I don't know. I was throwing that out there.
No, I know.
We all just speculate right now. We
don't know. We don't know. I know the parents have something to do with it.
I'm convinced.
The parents definitely have something to do with it.
I think they
why
do
would
too.
the dad call the FBI on a specific day and say, "Hey, let's go search the park today"? And then they all go off one way, and he decides to go off a different direction.
And he's the one.
And he just happens to come across something that's his son's.
What if he planted that shit?
They got some kind of connections at the very least because he came back to town and was interviewed or seen by the police, questioned or whatever, right? Like they saw him. I saw something that said cops like saw him when he came back, and then.
But that was before he was a person of interest and all that.
I'm like, how would you like see? Bro,
that's what I'm saying. If that was ever the story for us, bro,
they had connections because I'm like, he's automatically going to be a person of interest if he was traveling along with all these videos of them arguing and shit like that. So.
And then he shows up in her van. The van was hers.
But tell them about what he saw the video before when he was over.
Oh yeah. So at the park,
we're gonna back up a little bit.
Okay, so it says this came out on October 27th. It says bones potentially from an alligator were allegedly found about 60 yards away from where Brian Laundrie's remains were reportedly unearthed after he shared an image of an alligator attacking a man on Pinterest. So Brian had originally found an alligator attacking a guy,
basically eating a dude, and he fucking took a picture of it. Yeah,
he had like recorded it,
put it on the internet.
That's another kind of
so like that's another thing is like so the alligator ate some guy, so maybe the bones
was the dude old boy from
the alligator attack.
Bro, this shit's messy, bro.
Oh dang! So it was him, and then they just like took Brian out there, knocked out a tooth, and left it with
bro. Son, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Damn. That's crazy.
This shit is like some straight CSI shit. And let's go straight into Astroworld. I mean, that shit sound like some straight CSI shit too.
Sound like some what shit the fuck type of research was y'all out here doing, bro? Hey, bro. Hey, bro, I'm convinced, bro. Hey, bro.
The parents help him get away.
You are on a podcast, Aaron. You're supposed to do that kind of shit. I don't know if you remember.
Hey, bro. No, I didn't even know all that. Hey, bro.
People gonna listen. They gonna get something out this episode this time.
Hey.
And she was reading straight from paper. We know that shit.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say we don't. But at the end of the day, we still don't know shit.
But I'm
so do your own research.
The extra shit. Like, hey, bro. I'm convinced that Hey, I don't know
This is
about
all
the
from the
alligator piece.
NBC News and ABC
But
News. So.
NBC and ABC.
You know they be lying on there though too, so they always getting over. So you might that whole piece of the dude still in his identity.
What's the emoji, baby?
It's kinda,
I don't know shit. I don't know. But real shit
wild.
though. All right, what about this Astroworld thing? That's some straight CSI shit too, right? Criminal Minds, whatever. So who has the most information and wants to share what they think, or just give a basic layout on what
I don't know.
Astroworld?
What y'all niggas did some more research? Nigga, what y'all? Yeah, nigga, let me know.
First-hand interviews.
Nah, bro. We just want to hear. So Astroworld basically is a big festival that a lot of artists, they have their own thing. Like Boosie has one. He called Boosie Bash. OVO, there's like OVO Fest for Drake, and like everybody has their own weekend or whatever thing. Astroworld's for Travis Scott. Travis Scott, he sets up this like events through the weekends or whatever, and people go. There's music. There was like a baseball game. There's like different shit that happens at this particular concert. There was like lots of people there. There was people sneaking in. There was like overcrowding, all that shit. And supposedly like he engaged it. At the end of the concert, not even the concert ended. There was like 8 deaths. There's now 9 total deaths, and people were asking and trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Well, and there was one girl that ran on stage and was like, he's dead. There's a dead body. You need to stop the music. He's dead. And they just kept going and going.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy.
And supposedly somebody was like going around and injecting people with like a drug.
See, on the news, there was a cop that said there was a security guard that saw somebody down and basically went to go like help him out. And as he was going to help somebody, he felt getting hit in the neck with something. He ended up getting passed out. They said this on the news.
Bro, that's why
you know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm being. You ain't gonna catch me in groups that big, bro.
Bro, not at all.
I don't fuck with people like that in general, bro. So I'm like, ain't no way you gonna get me in a group full of like tens of thousands of
It was like 100,000 or some shit like that.
No, too many people.
How many?
50,000. Too many people.
50,000 people in one spot.
That's crazy.
10 people in one spot's a lot, bro. How many? We got like 7 people in this room.
Right.
That's a lot of people right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot.
Capitalism, bro.
All the way up to get out of there and shit.
You said what?
They had to crowd surf just to get out of there.
That's crazy though. But all right, so look, tell me what you was thinking about it, because you had some speculations and conspiracies, and I want to hear them.
I had no speculation. I just said, did you see the portal thing? That shit looked real.
Oh, the one at the top. And that was kind of trippy. It said, on the back of the stage, it did say, said, "I'll see you on the other side." The shirt he was wearing, it was like blue people walking through a door, and the people were coming out, they were red and had horns.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there's a whole these like different conspiracies and shit like that.
That like was all linked or something.
Yeah. Supposedly, like they're saying that like. I wish you were gonna come and tell me what you conspiracies, because you were saying he was the devil. I don't want to talk. Tell me what you think.
Nigga, I said that nigga damn near is the devil for some shit.
All right, tell me why, motherfucker.
What the fuck? I need to. Hey, look, the shit look like a portal. You feel me?
What look like a portal?
The little background drop that he came out of. That shit look crazy.
That was the idea, though.
But that's what I said. It looked real, and then all that demonic ass shit happened up at that.
But so are you only judging him saying that's based off of that, or
I'm not a part of the Illuminati world, nigga? I said it looked like a real portal. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like to me.
But I was just asking. I thought you were like saying you had like you saying you was watching some videos.
Yeah, it was watching.
All right, so tell me what you concluded from the videos.
Of the portal, you feel me? Right when that came on, motherfuckers started going crazy. Like, you feel me? Like real life crazy, like a real life feeling. I'm like, I do music, so like when the music, the energy is live, that was the wrong energy. It wasn't the right energy. I don't know if he is the song that he decided to come out with at that time. You feel me? Like, it's just the wrong energy.
You don't have to like. You're not like trying to convince me of anything. I don't have like a race in this horse. Like I'm not
trying to convince you.
Okay, I feel like you try to like I have like an answer, and you're like waiting for me to like tell you like this prolific. I don't know, nigga.
Nigga, I don't know. I said it's a portal. It looked
No,
like
but
a
we
real
was
life
like,
portal.
we was
That's
upstairs. I swear to
what
God,
I
you was like,
said.
that nigga's a devil.
Yeah,
like you had a
bro,
lot of
that shit
opinion.
Fucking that shit looked crazy when you look at some of the. You gotta go look up the videos, do some research, nigga. But the videos that I was looking at, you feel me?
I was hoping you were gonna educate me.
Oh, what? I'm a part of the Illuminati or something, nigga?
So,
You got first-hand knowledge, bro. You be tapping. I be seeing you be tapping in with the music, bro.
Man, this nigga done part me in the Illuminati. I am not.
All right, so if they came with a check, you ain't.
I'm not cashing in nothing. Get away from me.
They already had your signature, bro.
Hey, they ain't have my signature. Feel me? They ain't got mine.
Funny. But basically, so I heard two different opinions. So I listened to this podcast called Flagrant 2, Andrew Schultz. He has a couple people on there. One of the comedians, he has like other comedians. Like he puts on, like his whole crew is like comedians and shit. One of the guys that was on there, his name is Akash Singh. He's an Indian, as in from India, Indian heritage or whatever, not like
Native American.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna do some racist ass shit, and so I just like tried to. Yeah, I was gonna say some racist, like some stupid ass shit that probably would not be okay. So, basically, he was saying that he's been to a Travis Scott concert, and like he's like one of the best performers there's ever been. Like the energy that you feel being in the concert is like very overwhelming. Like it just feels like that being there. And then I was talking to this guy at work, and he was saying that basically like he's been to concerts too before where there's been so many people. He was like, you got to imagine 20,000, 25. He was like, the concert he went to, there was only 25,000 people there. Jesus. And he was like saying that like once the music starts and there's like a mosh pit or whatever and everybody rushes to the front of the stage, it was like people get like trampled and stomped on. Like that's a thing that happens at concert. Yeah. I had never been to a concert before, so I don't know really like you know what I mean? So when I hear that shit and I hear about niggas getting poked in the neck, my tinfoil hat automatically goes on. You know what I'm saying? But like when you hear it like broke down from like a logical standpoint, it's like people pass out. But he was like, people are like, they were saying there were so many people there that if you jumped in the air, you would get stuck.
I believe it. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean.
And so basically, all like all the bodies and everybody being pushed in like that, like you can't breathe. It's confined space. Niggas is claustrophobic, and so people passed out. That's why when they had that Narcan or whatever, they like came back. It wasn't like they had to like. I'm just going off of speculation, what I hear and what like makes sense, but like as soon as I heard niggas was getting poked in the neck and niggas was packing out, I was like, oh, this is some crazy type demon shit. But then when you hear about the life of concerts and why some people choose not to go to concerts, it's like, oh, this is, if somebody tells me they don't go to concerts because this can potentially happen, this is obviously something that happens at concerts.
That's like in the middle row.
I mean, first, rest in peace to those who died.
Absolutely.
Condolences to the families.
Absolutely.
But it's not the first time it's happened, you know. And like you said, people get like crazy packed in and stuff, and like it gets to a point where everybody trying to push forward because this like intense fan craze and shit, trying to like I don't know, touch Travis Scott's sweater or something, but like they be like, it gets to a point where people like there's so many people that's like pressing that you can't like your body can't expand to breathe. You go into cardiac arrest and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. The closest I ever been to that, I worked at Coachella one year. And
Coachella?
Yeah.
You did post pictures.
Yeah. And we had to, like, after we were working that day, a bunch of us went to, like, go see some of the shows that night. And we got there, and it was like, you know, Coachella, thousands of people. And they're like, oh, let's go, you know, watch the show. And, like, they kept going. Like, I was walking, they were going, they kept going. And then, like, it got to the point where everybody was, like, packed in and they were trying to push through to get to the front or something. And I was like, you probably started to spaz. I just fell off and, like, it was like, they didn't even know that I had left them. I just, like, literally turned around and walked back. I was not pushing into the crowd or nothing. People were, like, because I already felt myself. I was about to elbow someone in the face, bro. Like, it was getting way too packed in, and I was like, nope. Nah,
nobody would have been saying, excuse me.
Nah, bro. want to see that person, but
Yeah. No,
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you first hear like the thing in the neck and the conspiracy, that's like the first thing you want to believe. But then like when you hear about like there's like I feel like concerts and raves and like festivals, that's like a whole culture behind that shit. And to hear like if that's like a normal thing that happens at this shit, like.
But a mosh pit is different from a concert. Like somebody just.
They don't.
Concert.
So from what I heard, it doesn't even have to be
It
doesn't even have to be a mosh pit though. This shit used to happen at like Michael Jackson concerts and shit. From what I understand,
I could see it like in the first like 50 rows. You know what I mean? I could see that happening. I can't really see that happening because I've been to a couple concerts. So it's like around the stadium, like I can see that happening right in the middle, like right where.
Everybody was, mind you though, like everybody's standing up though too. There's no.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concert. It's going down, but
there's no like.
In order for there to be a panic or like
the way that they explained it, there was no. It's not like you're in a stadium where there's like bolted chairs to the ground, like separating people. So there's no.
It was just a stage.
There was literally just a stage, an open area, and so everybody's literally pushing to the front of that. There's no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a difference, though. Like, if there was chairs between each person and there was 20,000 people, yeah, that should probably never happen because there's barriers literally in between each row. Mm-hmm. But if it's literally just an open space and 20,000, all right, so 25,000, 50,000, however many people were right there in that area, that's a lot of people rushing the stage at one time, bro. 50,000 people.
I feel like that goes to like it speaks on how I don't know. I feel like it speaks on like how lost the majority of people are because I don't know to lose yourself and get like that in the moment to where you're not paying attention to nobody else around you and just like have that happen. Like I think that's like I think that speaks on like you know so many people being lost to like to even have that feeling. Like, you know, I feel like they're in a moment of trying to connect themselves to like something that is happening that is culturally relevant, you know?
Yeah, I feel exactly.
And like
what you're
even
saying.
the video, like I seen the videos of people rushing the merch stands and stuff, you know? And it's like, you know, to have that one-off shirt that was like sold at the concert and or either to have it or to resell it, you know? So, I mean, like, it either boils down to, like, people trying to connect themselves to a moment in history or like, capitalism. Capitalism
Is basically...
I feel like it's... I mean, that's the driving force behind, like, so many atrocities, you know, is capitalism.
Facts.
And, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy for sure. It's fucked up that they didn't, like... stop the show or something, you know, because I heard that they had like, you know, been at first I had heard that that Travis Scott was trying to tell security that somebody needed help, but then I heard that he just
so there was a couple videos floating around. There was a point in time where he like told the people like, hey, security, there's a woman passed out, blah blah blah. But there is other videos where people are on stage saying like, hey, Travis, like there's people out here dying, like, or there's people down here non-responsive, and he's like, "Fuck that, make it feel." He says, "Middle fingers to the sky," blah blah blah, and literally just keeps the show rolling. So there was like both of them. Like there was a couple times where he was basically like, "Fuck God, nigga, let it happen what happened."
Damn, bro. I mean,
yeah. So like there was like you can see both videos. So I'm saying like the conspiracy kind of fits with the way he was acting towards the idea of people presenting like people could potentially be dead out here. He was like, I don't care, basically. Like, nigga, what's happening is supposed to be happening. It is. Right, but there was at one point, there was a video that you can see him saying like, hey, security, there's somebody down here. But then again, there's a video floating around now of a cop after, because this is happening like where people were saying people were dying and shit. This was happening this was like in live time. This wasn't something that was happening like afterwards. Yeah. So after there had already been pronounced people dead and the concert was still going, there's like a video of like a cop at the front like recording the concert.
It's supposed to be like some cop that some bald head cop, you know, I don't like bald head cops. I'm gonna make sure he was bald headed. Yeah. But he's supposed to be didn't want to stop the concert for like 20 or 30 minutes, supposedly. Like it wasn't even on Travis, supposedly. I don't know. It was supposed to be on the cops.
That's
They
what-
already knew what was going on, and they decided not to stop it for the amount of moments that it was happening. So I have no idea.
That's
So
crazy.
that could be some of the
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, it begs the question, you know, like whose responsibility is it to, you know, because it like, not saying it's right, but you know, Travis Scott could have been in the mindset of just like, oh, you know, the show must go on. If
Yeah.
it's like if they're saying all this is happening, like the emergency, like somebody's gonna cut the show, you know,
Yeah.
like. I don't know. It could have been that, but I'm like, dog. Like
That's a fact, though.
he had it. Like He currently still has his empire. Like I don't
Yeah.
think that shit's going to disappear because of this. But I mean, it was definitely like affected because of this. You know.
Yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, I would just be of the mind state. You know, if I was that artist, any particular artist that like you know, like you look at. I've heard I saw like a clip of someone comparing it to like XXX when he stopped the show or something and like stopped performing, you know, and it's like you can appreciate how wild your fan base gets, but you know that's your like revenue, that's your income, you know.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna like let it go to a point of like that shit, then it's like. Because if they would have stopped the show, if he would have stopped performing,
Yeah.
like people would have like shut down. The energy immediately would have started going down. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah,
That
you
shit
already
would have got
gotta
all
get that
weird.
money
Yeah.
back or whatever. So
No, I feel that.
it's pointless.
That's crazy. I thought it was it.
Was it what?
Was it a free event? I thought.
No,
they were,
nigga, they was
I heard-
paying for them
I heard
tickets,
people
bro.
just rushed in and shit.
No, some people. So there was videos from the year before where there was kids climbing over gates and shit like that. It was also this one video fucked up because there was like a bunch of kids rushing the gate. And the security stopped the one kid, and he was like the handicapped kid that had like one leg. And the security stopped him. And it was like, that's fucked
You
up.
had to get somebody.
That's
Somebody had to
fucked
go.
up. You gonna stop the one kid with
Yeah, you had to
handicapped
go.
kid? That's
Yeah,
fucked
you ain't
up.
handicapped
They're
today.
like, yo, we ain't
Yeah.
had to run that
Yeah.
far. That's
Yeah.
fucked up. They're like, no, it made our like, yeah, they didn't want to work that hard for it.
But there was like people, so like Travis Scott had said something about like they're overselling the tickets, and he was saying like basically he supports the people breaking in the concert and whatever. So right, so he basically they're saying that with him basically saying those things on social media in a way he kind of like
Oh yeah,
started a riot and
That's
like,
real.
But he's already been charged for starting a riot at another concert before.
Yeah.
Like this has happened before.
Yeah, I mean, when you say stuff like you support, like I could get the logic behind it, you know, because it's like no matter what, he's getting paid his check. You
Facts.
know? Everything after that is like the
And it's
revenue of the like big wig companies and shit, you know. So he's like, if they break in, I'm still getting my check, you know. He's like, he don't give a fuck.
That is what it is.
Coming
to see me.
But it's like, you know, saying that is wild, you know.
Yeah.
Or just like, because you just putting yourself in a position to where it's like now he got motherfuckers looking at him like, oh, bro, because you said this, it encouraged this, you know.
Facts, bro.
I'm like,
but I feel like rich people, they just fight different.
he ain't with the Kardashians though, bro. He ain't with Kanye. He gonna be good. He gonna have money forever, bro.
That's a fact. He got kids. He's married into the he does, even if they break up and like they have kids, so it's different. Like he gonna have money. Yeah, he gonna be on like, you're right, bro. Exactly what you said. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's dope.
It's crazy. It's crazy that like I was talking to somebody about this earlier this week though, like, you know, just the level of like how people get starstruck and shit, and I'm just like, I don't understand it, bro.
See, for me, bro, I don't get like famous people don't really. This might sound stupid, but like hood rich motherfuckers, like niggas, you know, like the local drug dealers and shit like that. Them niggas get me starstruck.
Bro, it's like,
you know what I mean? Like
the story of a come up, you know, coming from nothing and shit, you know, but yeah.
You see the neighborhood nigga that's like almost like a myth, the legend. You see that nigga pull up to the corner store, nigga.
Inspirational, bro.
It's like, oh shit, nigga, it's so and so. Like, or like the local dude that you know just started Like I think there's this dude, he sells Jordans, like name's like Shoezoon or some shit like that. But I don't know. But he fucking like had like a shoe store or some shit. I seen that nigga in Nike. I was like, oh niggas, you that nigga from Instagram, bro. Yeah. I don't know. Like people like that come from nothing and make it. Like they do something for me. Like niggas like, was like born 7 foot tall, nigga. You was. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't, nigga, we be you a worthless ass nigga.
That's why I got in that conversation though.
Huh?
Like when you said everybody got their own struggle though. So
what do you mean?
Everybody like go through something different. You know what I mean? You could be 7 foot, 6 foot, but you still kind of go through it.
No, I understand that, but I'm just talking shit. But I was saying, for me, it just to see somebody come from nothing, nigga, to get it out the mud, and you knew where he was at, and to see him grow, like for instance, Jamal, the barber dude with the barber shop. I remember I used to go to him back when he used to work inside of Reggie's, and he had the seat over by the bathroom, and then I seen that nigga move all the way up to the front, and then now he got his own barber shop, he got his own school. And so when I went to go get a cut from him not that long ago, it was like almost like a year ago. It was a while ago. But anyway, like it was like, nigga, I remember I was like, bro, I remember when you used to cut fucking hair at Reggie's, nigga, and I'm sitting in your fucking barber college, bro. Like that shit is dope to me, bro. Yeah. That shit is crazy. I don't know, that shit does something to me.
It'd be the same for artists and stuff.
But when you see like big motherfuckers, like you see Joel Embiid or something, you be like, bro, if you wasn't Joel Embiid, nigga, you'd be a worthless motherfucker.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. Nigga, you can't naturally say that shit, my nigga, because you don't know what
he's sensitive because he's 6'5" and he ain't shit. No,
my God.
I feel like it, you know, I can see what you're saying, like in the sense of like, you know, because you look at some people's stories and like. You see people who honestly, you know, got it from nothing, and then you see like, you know, somebody's blew up, they get big or whatever, and then like you like either by chance find out or like you just happen to go down a rabbit hole of like reading shit, and then you find out like, oh, they got an uncle or an auntie that was like in the music industry way back when and like worked with so and so who had hella hits, and then like, you know, that's how they got in, you know?
Yeah.
But, like nepotism is a real thing.
Facts,
like,
bro.
I think people underestimate like. You know, I wouldn't say it's necessarily industry plants, but like I think people underestimate how far the you know, my auntie, my uncle, my mom, my dad was this, that, or whatever, and like it basically set me to be here, you know.
So I seen this. After this we'll wrap up. But basically, I was watching The Breakfast Club. I think it was Charlamagne was talking to this dude named Dr. Umar Johnson. And they had brought up the movie Crazy Rich Asians, and they were talking about this part in the movie where they were referring to nepotism and how if you haven't seen that movie, you need to go watch it. Me and my wife ended up fucking just having it come on TV one day, and I didn't go like watch it after that, but it's crazy how like I swear to God, my phone's listening to everything I fucking do and know they know what I need before I even. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. But anyway, it fucking comes on my TV. And we're watching it halfway through, and then it was so dope that we was like, we had to watch this shit from the beginning. And I think we rented it or something. Mm-hmm. But there's a part in the movie where there was like they're from where is that shit called? Taiwan? No.
Thailand?
Huh?
Was it Thailand?
No, it might be Thailand, but I don't know. It was like the business capital of Asia or some shit like that. And it's a really wealthy family that own a bunch of real estate and whatnot. And basically, like, they're like the biggest real estate family, like, in that part of the world or whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. And basically, the woman that was getting ready to marry the son of, like, the rich people, she's marrying, like, the next guy in line that's supposed to run the family thing. And, like, the movie's about he doesn't want to take it. Like, nigga, I don't want to do this shit. Like, anyway, long story short, his wife is with the lady that's kind of like running the shots, calling like she's like the boss type shit. Like she's so rich, she gets uncomfortable and feels like she has to hide her like diamond rings and stuff from her husband because her husband's insecure or whatever. But she's like, oh man, you must have went to school. The wife saying this to the cousin that's running shit. Oh, you must have went to school and be really smart to get to this point in the company. And she's like, no, it's just regular old nepotism. And that's what she said. She literally said that shit. And for me, I was like, what is nepotism? But basically, it's like you get to a point in life where you literally can just pass shit down. You keep it in the family. Nepotism is what Trump did, unfortunately. I hate to use him as like a reference, but that nigga, what Obama would never do, that nigga came in and put all his homies on.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
You can't really argue that, though. At that one point, I'm not saying anything else, but that one point, nigga.
For the definition, I ain't know what it was.
So nepotism's like basically, so it's like when you get, I don't know the actual definition, but the idea of nepotism is like you create your own wealth, and then inside of your own wealth, you can pass businesses down and companies down and shit like that. So like so once you become like, say we built this up or whatever, right? We got this studio or whatnot. After we create a studio and it's established and it's became this company, your son can be the director, the producer. You can hand this to your family. Like it's that.
And his son, and then his son.
That's the idea of nepotism. You know what I mean? So essentially, we doing it now. With this shit take off, nigga, we are essentially starting the idea of nepotism for our own families.
Doing it every day.
Yeah. That was a dope little conversation, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for coming over, bro.
I appreciate y'all
chopping
having
it
me.
up.
It was cool seeing y'all again, bro. It's
Absolutely.
been a minute.
It has been. It's been a long ass time. Next time, come over and we have some like shots. We have like a little barbecue or some shit like that.
For sure.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
All right, it's your boy, Mr. Handcrafted.
Okay, Shorty Font.
Miss Handcrafted.
And we out this
You
bitch.
know that.
Thank you, sir.